You think Kylie Jenner has it all? But every win came with a bill you don't see. Today, you'll learn the hidden costs she pays, lost privacy, shaken trust, shifting identity, and why that matters to you. If you build a brand or chase clout, her story is your warning. One move grows you, the next breaks you. I'll reveal the 3 biggest charges on her tab, and the one cost even a billionaire can't refund. Let's start with the first bill. Kylie didn't choose a debut. It was scheduled. At 10, she wasn't just on TV. She was part of a weekly product the world could pause, replay, and judge. Childhood moments turned into episodes. Regular mistakes became plot points. That early exposure rewired the basics. Privacy wasn't default, performance was. When most kids learn boundaries, she learned ratings. Then the internet scaled everything. Tumblr gave her a mood board. Snapchat gave her a pulse. Instagram gave her a currency. The audience wasn't a crowd anymore. It was a meter, constantly reading, scoring, comparing. The loop rewarded volume and novelty. More selfies. Sharper captions. Sharper features. Each micro change drew macro feedback. The crowd told her what worked, then demanded more of it. Inside the house, there was structure. A family that understood story beats. A mom who could turn attention into inventory. Opportunities arrived early. Campaigns, appearances, collaborations. Good for business, tough on formation. When you're still figuring out who you are, it's dangerous to learn it from comments, headlines, and photo shoots. You start borrowing the loudest definition. What trends, sells, or spikes engagement. That's the first hidden cost. Growing up on camera doesn't just shrink your childhood. It crowds your mirror. You're never alone with your reflection long enough to decide if you like it. The internet votes first. And when it votes, it doesn't vote on you. It votes on a version of you. The version that gets the most clicks wins, until the next version outperforms it. This is how the treadmill starts. Not with a scandal, but with applause. The likes feel like safety. The brand deals feel like proof. The schedule feels like destiny. But attention collects interest, and sooner or later, the bill arrives. It came for Kylie in her late teens when a relationship rumor turned into a culture-wide argument about age, power, and the price of visibility. And that's where the sweet, chaotic King Kylie era began, right as the scrutiny got sharp enough to cut. The rumor didn't feel like a rumor. It felt like a verdict. Photos, captions, whispers, then the clip at her 17th birthday where an older boyfriend figure hands her a bottle and tells her to take a shot. He denied they were together on the radio, said people were reading it wrong, said he hadn't left his family for a teenager. But the internet had already decided the headline and started carving her into it. Songs tossed darts. A bar that said, "Act your age, not your girl's age," bounced around timelines until it became a punchline with teeth. Screenshots of tattoos, his with her name, circulated like evidence. Then came tracks that sounded like bragging about the edge of legality. Critics called it creepy. Defenders called it normal. Family interviews softened the optics. None of it slowed the feed. Meanwhile, Kylie's following exploded. This wasn't passive fame. It was adrenaline. Tumblr mood boards turned into Snapchat momentum turned into Instagram command. The King Kylie era roared. Glossy wigs, bolder makeup, late-night drives, girlfriends laughing into front-facing cameras. It looked electric because it also looked invincible, which it wasn't. She turned 18 and the relationship went public. A Ferrari appeared, pap flashes doubled. The conversation didn't calm. It changed shape. When a teenager ages out of scandal, the story doesn't end. It just loses its training wheels. The controversy that launched her into the mainstream stayed glued to her image, now rebranded as edgy confidence. That is a hidden cost. When the machine makes you a headline, you start living like one. The fallout was subtle but real. She was learning power and risk at the exact same time in front of millions with receipts that never delete. Every new post had to outrun the last judgment. Every win needed to be louder than the whisper behind it. She needed a different center of gravity, something bigger than a relationship, to anchor the fame. The answer arrived in a tiny box with a matte lid and 3 shades that sold out in minutes. The fix for chaos wasn't a breakup. It was a product. A tiny matte box, 3 shades, and a promise. Lips like the photos. The drop sold out in minutes, then again, then again. Overnight, Kylie wasn't just trending. She was a template. Influencer to founder. Audience to revenue. King Kylie became CEO energy. And the internet learned a new rule. If you can't outtalk the discourse, outsell it. Momentum snowballed. Warehouses, fulfillment clips, factory visits. The brand moved from a bedroom mirror to global shelves. What started as a lip look became a full engine of SKUs and collabs. A legacy beauty giant bought a big stake, and the market stamped her model as real. The girl the internet argued about had turned their attention into inventory, then into equity. Then came the crown that split the room, the youngest self-made billionaire label. To fans, it was the flex of the decade. To critics, it was a stretch. The arguments were loud and weirdly personal, about access, family, and what self-made even means in an economy that rewards whoever already has a spotlight. Months later, the headline boomeranged. Forbes revisited its math, withdrew the crown, and suggested the numbers weren't what they'd been told. Kylie's side pushed back. The damage was quieter than the announcement, but sharper than the applause. When your net worth becomes a plot twist, trust takes the hit. That's the hidden cost of proof. The more you prove, the more proof people demand. Every success asks for receipts. Every receipt gets audited by a million strangers. Fame trains the audience to think like forensic accountants. And if the story around your success sounds bigger than the spreadsheets, the internet will try to shrink you back down. But inside the noise, something human was happening. She was about to have a child. The internet wanted more launches, more numbers, more access. She chose quiet. The scroll hates silence. Life needs it. And when she went quiet, the brand that once felt like your friend suddenly felt like a company, right before the next storm over optics arrived. Quiet wasn't an exit. It was a choice. After the chaos and the sales, Kylie stepped back. Pregnancy pulled the curtain shut. Fewer posts, fewer cameos, no play-by-play. For a minute, the internet had to guess instead of watch. That should feel normal. Online, it reads like betrayal. Her core audience had grown up on the King Kylie buzz, late-night snaps, filters, friends, fast cars, faster captions. They weren't ready for soft mornings, stroller walks, and garden clips. Real life is slow. Algorithms punish slow. The brand that felt like your loud best friend suddenly spoke in inside voices. That created a gap, small at first, then obvious. Not because motherhood is unrelatable, but because the version of her that people bonded with was chaos-forward and casual. The pivot to careful and private landed like distance. Business filled the silence. Factory floors. Boardroom updates. New SKUs. The camera moved from bedrooms to conference tables. That's growth, also a trade. When you shift from girl next door with an internet crown to executive with a product roadmap, fans don't always follow. They respect the win. They miss the mess. Parasocial math is cruel that way. The person matures. The audience wants the character back. There's a hidden cost in growing up publicly. Every normal decision gets graded like a brand move. Share less and you're cold. Share more and you're performing. Post your baby and you're using family. Don't post and you're hiding something. No answer earns full credit. The same internet that begged for authenticity penalizes the parts of life that aren't built for content. She tried to thread the needle, selective glimpses, controlled drops, a steadier tone. It worked for the business. It didn't fix the feeling. The crowd still wanted a plot. And when the crowd wants a plot, it will find anyone near you, which is how a summer hang turned into headlines. And optics started costing more than facts. One summer night in 2020, a pool party turned into a headline no one could scroll past. An argument after the gathering ended with Megan Thee Stallion being shot. Later, a court convicted Tory Lanez and he received a lengthy sentence. Kylie wasn't the actor in that story. She wasn't the one on trial, but she was near it. And that's enough for the internet to draft you into the plot. Here's how fame taxes you. Proximity becomes participation. The setting becomes symbolism. Even neutral posts, timed hours or days later, get read like statements. People don't just see a picture. They see intent. They stitch timing into meaning and call it proof. That's how optics overpower facts online. Legal realities move at courtroom speed. Narratives move at swipe speed. If you're building a brand, this is the lesson you don't want to learn live. The audience reads everything as messaging. Silence looks strategic. Gratitude looks pointed. A lyric looks like a subtweet. You might mean, have a nice day. They may read, I picked a side, and once that reading lands, it's sticky. Screenshots keep context out and certainty in. For Kylie, the blowback wasn't about what she did. It was about what people believed a post meant. In an outrage cycle, nuance becomes a luxury item. No caption can carry all the context it needs. And when your home is the backdrop to a moment that becomes case law, you inherit a share of the conversation whether you speak or not. Hidden costs tallied. Adjacency risk. The closer you are to flashpoints, the more your normal life gets audited for subtext. Even if you had nothing to do with the act, you'll be graded on your optics management. The worst midterm to fail, because there is no rubric and the class never ends. And just when the internet's attention seemed ready to drift, another catastrophe pulled her name back into the center, this time with grief, lawsuits, and a global spotlight that made optics feel painfully small. November 2021 changed the tone. A festival headlined by the father of her children turned into a national tragedy. Crowd surges, chaos, 10 lives lost. The story wasn't celebrity drama anymore. It was grief, law, and responsibility. Kylie posted a statement saying they didn't know about fatalities until after the show. The internet replayed an IG story that showed an ambulance in the crowd and decided her words didn't add up. In a disaster, timelines become trial lines, and every frame gets cross-examined. Here's the problem no public figure can solve. There is no correct volume for your voice during tragedy. Speak quickly and you're exploiting. Wait and you're evasive. Say little and you're cold. Say more and you're self-centering. The audience wants empathy, receipts, and perfect timing, all at once. Real life never delivers that bundle. Social media still demands it. For Kylie, the cost wasn't just backlash. It was erosion. Trust is emotional, not mathematical. People don't track your character on a ledger. They run it through a feeling. And those feelings harden fast when the subject is life and death. Even posts unrelated to the event, brand promos, store openings, a routine rollout, got read as tone deaf. Once the room decides you missed the moment, every move sounds off-key. That's a hidden cost of proximity to catastrophe. You inherit a responsibility conversation you didn't ask for and can't exit. The audience doesn't separate the mother from the mogul, the partner from the poster. It judges the whole: speed, phrasing, empathy, silence. And once a moral question attaches to your name, product talk starts to feel trivial, which is exactly what happened next. Launches met with side-eye. Rollouts met with read the room. The same crowd that used to line up for swatches now lined up with criticism. When public sorrow overlaps with your consumer base, the damage isn't a single cancellation. It's confidence drain. And confidence drain shows up first where brand stories live or die. In the quality people feel in their hands. Confidence drain doesn't show up first in headlines. It shows up in hands. After Astroworld, launches didn't land on clean floors. They landed on skepticism. Kylie Swim was supposed to be easy joy. Bright colors, hot girl summer, mass appeal. Instead, reviews piled up about thin fabric, see-through moments, and fits that seemed engineered for one very specific body template. A try-on video isn't a press release. It's evidence. One clip of a strap slipping or seams pulling can duplicate across feeds faster than any ad budget can chase. That's the trap of a personality-led brand. The product isn't just product, it's proof. If the suit feels cheap, the audience reads it as a confession. You sold me a vibe, not a swimsuit. Even when a line is priced for access, buyers want sturdiness, not just status. And when they don't feel it, returns turn into content. Content turns into consensus. Consensus turns into hesitation at checkout. The recalibration came with a new label and a new promise. KHY, stripped down silhouettes, a cooler aesthetic, priced to move. Launch buzz was instant, but so were side eyes. Think pieces about originality, commentary about materials, a chorus of, is this special or just familiar? That's not a court ruling. It's the modern customer jury. They're not looking for perfection, just coherence. Does the story match the stitch? Hidden cost, tallied, expectation inflation. When your name equals luxury outcomes, cars, mansions, a billion-dollar headline, people expect premium everywhere, even at entry-level price points. If the value story wobbles, it dents more than a SKU. It dents belief. And belief is the only moat an influencer brand really has. Here's the part founders don't say out loud. Fixing quality is straightforward. Fixing memory isn't. The algorithm remembers the worst try-on more clearly than it remembers your apology. To reset that memory, you need time, silence, and something undeniable in the next drop. But time and silence don't trend. Which is why the next pivot didn't arrive in a warehouse. It arrived on a red carpet, hand in hand, engineered for flashbulbs and think pieces. The next pivot didn't come in a press release. It came as a kiss. Months after the breakup with Travis, Kylie reappeared beside Timothée Chalamet. Concerts, the US Open, award shows, camera-ready PDA. To some, it looked like joy finally catching up with her. To others, it looked like strategy, a romance engineered to reset headlines and oxygenate the brand. That's the paradox of public love. The camera sees affection. The internet sees intent. Every touch becomes a clue. Every date becomes a data point. Fans built timelines, then built theories on top of the timelines. The comparison engine spun up too. Side-by-sides with an X, talk of aesthetic overlap. Whispers that the new vibe matched the old muse. Fair or not, the story stuck because it was tidy. Kylie changes partners. Kylie changes palette. And yes, the wardrobe shifted. Less neon spectacle, more pared-down minimalism. Fewer megawatt moments, more film festival cool. Reinvention is a survival skill in entertainment. It's also a running tab. Because the more often you costume change, the more people ask what the costume is hiding. If your image keeps morphing with the man beside you, the crowd starts to think the man is the mirror. Then came the headlines about intimacy, sourced to insiders, pushed out with winks and exclamation marks. At the same time, another wave of Astroworld discourse surfaced via documentaries and deep dives. Launches appeared close to those drops, which some read as coincidence, others as cover. That's the trouble with living inside a PR aquarium. Even breathing looks choreographed. Here's the cost that never shows up on a spreadsheet. Narrative fatigue. You can trend your way out of a scandal, but you can't trend your way into trust. Reinvention buys reach. Stability buys belief. Without a fixed point, values you won't trade, quality you won't rush. Privacy lines you won't cross. The story always needs a new scene partner. And that brings us to the bill no one can comp. When the brand is louder than the person, who pays the interest on identity?